Hello, my name is Robin Mitchell and welcome to this episode of Product of the Week. In today's episode, we're going to be looking at, thank you Richard, the Argon One M2 case for the Raspberry Pi 4. Let's see what makes this case sleek, how it can help you with your Raspberry Pi projects, and why it's worth parting with cash for. Of course, I've got to get this thing open. Look at that. Bits and bobs inside. Very nice.
Don't drop it.
Don't test me. Very nice. The first question we have to ask ourselves is, what is the Argon One M2 case? Well, the Argon One M2 is more than just a case. It contains the electronics, as you can see here and inside the case, needed to expand the Raspberry Pi peripherals, as well as providing thermal and power management. Now, the case was designed for use with the Raspberry Pi 4, so you can't use it with the earlier version of the Raspberry Pi computers. Putting your Pi into this case will, and I guarantee you this, will transform it into a machine that all nerds will desire. Now, you might be wondering why this case is awesome. Well, the first reason is that it provides you with a strong case that protects the Pi from damage, being made from solid metal. It also brings out HDMI and audio to the front, so all of your connectors are on one side of the machine. The Argon One M2 also integrates an internal daughter board that allows the Pi to connect to an internal M2 key SSD for faster booting times and for larger storage. And finally, the thermal management will ensure that your overclocked Pi stays cool and calm even in the worst scenarios. What features does the Argon One M2 case provide? Well, to start, the frame is made from an aluminium alloy. Not aluminum for Americans out there, it's aluminium. It's strong and sturdy, meaning that it is going to protect your Pi from most kinds of drops, damages, and bangs. At the same time, the Argon One M2 case also has a magnetic cover that provides access to the GPIO, like so, and let's be honest, that is as sexy as hell. Next to the GPIO cover is also a printout of the GPIO pins, so you can see what pin is what and where you can connect it to. That way, when you're making your Raspberry Pi 4 projects, you're not going to connect the wrong pins together. Inside the Argon One M2 case are internal thermal columns that connect your Raspberry Pi 4 to the top case of the Argon, meaning that the Argon's aluminium shell acts as a heatsink to cool down your Pi. But for those who want a bit of extra oomph, there is also an active cooling option inside via a fan. Now, one excellent feature of the Argon One case that I personally love is that they've added a power button, which means that the Raspberry Pi finally has a power button. So you can push it, turn it on, push it, turn it off, instead of having to constantly pull out the power cord and putting it back in. At the bottom of the Argon One M2 case is a daughter board that gives you access to an M2 key connector for connecting extra SSDs, which provides you with faster boot times and larger storage space. Finally, the Argon One M2 case measures just 106 by 95 by 41 millimeters, which makes it really compact. All of these features that we've discussed are great, but of course, the only thing that really matters is what you can do with this case. Now, obviously, it's a case, so it's going to house your Raspberry Pi 4, but that doesn't mean we can't talk about the applications which you can use this thing in. So to start off with, the first thing I would definitely consider using this for is as a desktop computer that needs a minimal footprint. Basically, by putting all of the I/O on one side, you can keep cables away from 3 of the other sides, which gives you a very nice looking project. The Argon One M2 case is also really good for applications where it might get knocked around, so it gives your Pi some protection. And the bottom daughter board that gives you access to an M2 key SSD makes it ideal for use as a NAS, so you can back up all your files. And of course, the most important application is that you can buy the case on its own and pretend that you've got a Raspberry Pi 4, because as we all know, you can't even get the things right now. So to summarize, the Argon One M2 case is one hell of an add-on for the Raspberry Pi 4. The internal SSD add-on is a really nice touch to give your Pi applications extra memory as well as faster boot times. The solid aluminium construction makes it extremely strong, and just look at that space grey finish. For those out there who are interested in getting their hands on the Argon One M2 case, Head over to the Electromaker store where you can grab this, the Raspberry Pi 4 if it's in stock, and all the accessories you need for your non-existent project. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.